My name is Ashley. This is the first time I'm making a video. Don't mind the look. I just got home from coming back from an ultrasound, so I've just been kind of sleeping and I look a mess. Anyways, I wanted to do this video because when I was going through everything, I really did a lot of research and I found watching other people's videos on YouTube and like reading different forums really helped me. So if I can share my experience with someone else and help someone else, that means I've made a difference in a way. So I really wanted to make this video. Anyways, let me give you a little bit of background about me. I am 29 years old. I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was 23. At that time, I was very thin, but I had a lot of acne starting, and a lot of hair loss. So at that time, I went to my OBGYN, and they finally, after many sessions, they diagnosed me with PCOS. From there, I found out I had a polyp in my uterus, and I had to have a D&C when I was 23 to remove that polyp. After I had that D&C, they put me on birth control pills, and I was on birth control pills for about 3 years until I was 26. At the time that I was 26, I ended up going into liver failure somehow, and the doctors couldn't figure out why, and they contributed it to either the birth control pills or the vitamins I was taking. Anyways, I just wanted to give you a little bit of back history about me. So at 27, I got off of birth control, and I have not been on birth control pills for 2 years. Since then, my cycles have been irregular. However, the past 8 months, I've had a pretty normal cycle, 32 to 35, 37 days normally, and that's normal for me. Anyways, I was told that I had a low chance of conceiving naturally on my own, and that I would need help to get pregnant. So my partner and I said, let's just not worry about it so much right now. If it happens, we will be blessed. If it doesn't happen, then we will worry about it then. Within 6 months of having unprotected sex, my partner and I became pregnant. I found out I was pregnant on October 5th, and it was one of the most surreal moments of my life. I didn't think that I could get pregnant, so to find out that I was really exciting. However, that excitement turned into a lot of anxiety because I first didn't know exactly how far along I was, and I had pain in my ovaries, so I was really concerned that maybe this was an ectopic pregnancy. So I went to my OBGYN. She ruled out that it was an ectopic and that I had a very big ovarian cyst, but there was nothing else to worry about. And then they fast forward to 6 weeks later, I went in for another ultrasound. They saw the gestational sac, the yolk sac, and the fetus. And at 6 weeks, I had a perfect heartbeat. So everything was going well. She told me to come back in 3 weeks for a 9-week scan. During those 3 weeks, I had my progesterone levels checked. My levels were fine. I was nauseous. I had all the normal pregnancy symptoms. I didn't think anything was wrong. About 2 days before my scan on November 12th, I felt like all of my symptoms went away on that very day. I don't know what it was. I woke up that morning and I felt fine, and I wasn't nauseous. I wasn't as tired as I usually have been, and I just felt like I was back to my normal self. So on October 12th, I went in for my scan, my 9-week scan, and it was confirmed that there was no heartbeat. So that was pretty devastating, to say the least. And I had no signs that I miscarried or that there was no heartbeat. And the baby grew all the way until 9 weeks. So the heart had to have stopped about a day before I went for my scan. So at that moment, I was given 3 options, either to miscarry naturally, take the medication, or have a D&C. Because I had a D&C prior, when I told you when I was 23, I was always concerned about scarring in future pregnancies. So I put that as my last resort. And then I also put the natural miscarriage as the second resort because I didn't know when that would happen, and she couldn't give me an exact time frame, and there was risk of infection, and I just didn't know with that. I didn't know when or where it could happen, and I work full time, and it was just the unknown was scary with that. So I asked to wait and to do some research. As I was doing research, I really looked into the medication, and this is where I came to YouTube, and I found a lot of videos of women who've taken the medication and their experiences, and I also looked up a lot of forums. After reading and listening and watching videos of other women, I was so nervous to take the medication just with the pain that was associated with it, and there was just so many things that was making me very nervous. So I continued to wait and put it off and put it off and put it off until I got to 3 weeks, and I just said I'd rather just do it naturally because I've waited this long, and I just want my body to do what it is supposed to do. However, if it does not do it, then I will look into the other options and go back to them. So I started spotting on Sunday of last week, and that was exactly 3 weeks since my date that I was told that the baby's heart stopped. That was Sunday. By Thursday night when I got home, I had a little bit of cramping, but I had some lower back pain, and I stood up, and I just had a gush of fluid come out of me. It was not blood, it was clear, and it just gushed out, and I knew then something was going to happen. So I went to the bathroom, and I had a little bit more cramping and just a bunch of blood, just a gush of blood. So I was bleeding a lot, and I was passing a lot of tissue. I believe during that time I passed the fetus. However, there was so much blood and so much tissue that nothing was recognizable as a fetus or anything. I couldn't tell where the sac was or anything. And I bled for about 3 hours. That was Thursday night. I went to bed Thursday night. I woke up Friday morning and it was just bleeding lightly. I had an ultrasound done Friday morning, and they did say that I passed the fetus, but there was still tissue remaining, and that I should pass it by myself. Friday afternoon when I got home after the ultrasound, I had very severe pain. I don't want to scare you, not like horrible pain where I think if I had some sort of painkiller it would, do the trick, but I didn't take anything, so it was a lot of pressure and painful. and then I was losing a lot of blood. So I was going through, within 2 hours, I went through like 4 huge maxi pads, and I was passing clots. And because I was losing so much blood, I got so weak that I passed out for a second. And I came back to, and I had to go outside and get like fresh air, and I went back to the bathroom and I passed more blood and more clots. And then it just kind of stopped. I didn't have any pain, and I've just been, since Friday, which now today's Monday, I have just been bleeding like a regular period. I went for another ultrasound today, and they did say that I passed the fetus, and I passed more tissue, but my lining is, I guess, thin, but I still have tissue and clots remaining. So I have to go back for another ultrasound next week to make sure that it's leaving my body. If not, I don't know if I'll have to take the medication or not. But I did want to just give this account of having PCOS, getting pregnant, knowing that you can get pregnant. I was told my PCOS had nothing to do with my miscarriage, that the miscarriage, more than likely, there was a chromosome issue and the baby just wasn't healthy. But there's not a lot of information out there about miscarriages, or just the natural management process of treating a miscarriage. So I just wanted to make this video and let other people know that you're not alone, and that it totally sucks, but you'll get through it, and that as women, our bodies are so amazing and so strong, and we can endure so much, that just know that you're not alone. And yeah, feel free to comment down below and share your experiences with me. Thank you.